What if I told you that there is a company with groundbreaking technology that's not only revolutionizing the entire banking sector and the entire financial system as we know it, but also completely reshaping the way money moves globally, how value is transferred from A to Z. And it's growing at an astonishing pace, and so quickly it's becoming a major force in the financial world. And what if I told you that this company has both direct and indirect ties to the PayPal mafia, the intelligence agencies, the World Economic Forum, and some of the world's powerful tech billionaire oligarchs? Now, this company is called Ripple, and the connections behind it might surprise you, even if you've been in the community and following them for a long time. It's very overlooked. And in this video, I'm not making it to really persuade you to take sides, buy XRP, or sell it. My goal in this video is to connect the dots and follow the money trail, revealing just how powerful Ripple and their technology is. And my goal is to really explore who truly might be backing them or connected to them in some way, form, or fashion based on available data. Now, Ripple and its native token, XRP, are some of the most talked about topics in the entire crypto world today, especially online. The company's mission is simple and straightforward. It's to reshape cross-border payments for financial institutions, and it has sparked intense interest and polarizing opinions from nearly everyone in the space for a long time, especially now since it's coming on people's radar. Now, Ripple's goal with XRP is to revolutionize how money moves, how value moves globally. Considering the weight of their ambition and its potential impact on the financial system, I thought it only makes sense to explore the topic in depth, given the fact that a lot of people are interested in it and don't know too much about it. But before we dig deeper, what exactly is Ripple and XRP? They're two different things. Ripple is the company originally developed by Ryan Fugger, but in 2012 the project evolved under Chris Larsen and Jed McCaleb and rebranded as OpenCoin, which later became Ripple Labs. Founded in 2012 as OpenCoin, Ripple is a tech company focused on building payment solutions for financial institutions. They made that very clear. It's best known really for its product RippleNet, which enables fast, low-cost international transactions using blockchain technology, and its system aims to make cross-border payments far more efficient than traditional banking methods, which are completely outdated. They did launch the regulated stablecoin recently called the RLUSD, which is fully backed by reserves and backed one-to-one by USD and cash equivalents. Now, on the other hand, you have XRP, which is Ripple's native digital currency. It's designed as a bridge currency to facilitate liquidity and do instant settlements without the middleman. It's basically a financial instrument that functions as a currency. It allows seamless transfers between different fiat and cryptocurrencies, and it's instant. Now, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP transactions actually rely on a network of trusted validators rather than intensive energy mining. Now, XRP and Ripple have drawn a wide range of opinions over the years, especially now. Some call XRP a scam, others say it's centralized, some believe it's going to overtake Bitcoin one day, and some think it's decentralized. On the other end, some argue it's a complete psyop, a military operation, a clever front for the central bankers and elite families to maintain their control over the monetary and financial system, and that Ripple is primarily focused on benefiting the financial institutions rather than the people and humanity. So what's the truth? Well, to be honest with you guys, when faced with extreme views like this, I prefer to take a step back and objectively examine the facts, the data, and the timing of everything. In my experience, the truth often lies somewhere in the middle until it doesn't. So sometimes the truth isn't in what's being said, but more often in what's being left unsaid. And I like to take that into consideration. So in this video, I won't focus so much on XRP, the digital asset itself, but instead I'll dive into who's connected to Ripple and really explore who might truly benefit from the positive or negative narratives being fed to us about Ripple and XRP. Are these narratives grounded in reality, or is there more to the story? So that's what we're going to look into, and really let's follow the money and the connections to find out and paint a clear picture of what's going on. We just got to zoom out. So starting with the foundation, who is one of the leaders in the technology and digital asset space with a digital asset that has remarkable capabilities and is superior for moving value, truly aiming to shape the global financial system? That's Ripple. I think the facts are there and people should know that. But what exactly is Ripple and who are they connected to? So let's start with what they say on their website. Building the internet of value, enabling the world to move value the way information moves today. So kind of like Google, but for money and moving value. This statement tells us about Ripple's core mission, which is basically to transform cross-border payments by offering fast, low-cost solutions for financial institutions. So with products like RippleNet and on-demand liquidity and the RLUSD, Ripple's goal is to simplify international money transfers and improve liquidity by using XRP as a bridge currency. So XRP's primary function is to enable instant settlement and reduce transaction costs for banks, ultimately making global payment faster, cheaper, and more efficient without all the middlemen that you see in banking, and they're actually called correspondent banks in traditional banking. Now, additionally, Ripple recently launched their RLUSD stablecoin, as we mentioned, which is set to play a significant role in bringing liquidity to the XRP-L, which is the XRP ledger, basically a decentralized network. Now, Ripple's story takes an interesting turn when we zoom out. When you look at how their messaging has evolved over time. At one point, their website stated that they were more committed than ever to making XRP the world's reserve digital currency. That phrase has since disappeared. It's no longer on the website. Why the change? It makes me wonder, but maybe it was to protect national security interests or shift public perception and the narrative. But despite the change in the wording, their actions have stayed remarkably consistent over time. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple's CEO, even mentioned at a conference in Asia at one point that XRP was created to function as a reserve currency. And since then, he's never made any similar statement or remarks. Now, let's dive a little deeper to get the full picture. Let's look at how some of the biggest names in the tech world and finance, like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and the PayPal network, PayPal Mafia, connect to Ripple's rise. Now, in 1998, Peter Thiel, the tech billionaire, co-founded Confinity with Max Levchin and Luke Nosek, launching PayPal a year later. And in 1999, Elon Musk founded X.com, an online payment service with a similar goal. And in the year 2000, the two companies actually merged together and eventually rebranded as PayPal. Now, at that time, when eBay bought PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, it created a group of wealthy insiders later known as the PayPal Mafia that we often hear about. Now, these early players actually went on to dominate the tech world and do their own thing, and their connections still remain strong. In essence, these are the tech billionaire oligarchs that we hear about. And as we stated earlier, Ripple was originally created by Ryan Fugger. But in 2012, the project evolved under Chris Larson and Jed McCaleb, and they rebranded it as OpenCoin, which later became Ripple Labs to revolutionize international payments through blockchain technology. Now, they introduced XRP as a bridge currency for faster, cheaper cross-border transactions. And this is where it gets extremely interesting, because in 2013, Peter Thiel's founder fund actually invested in Ripple, and this signals his ongoing belief in the financial innovation space. That ties Ripple to the influential PayPal network and PayPal mafia that we're talking about, because the connections between tech, finance, and innovation are deeply intertwined when we look at all this together.